Hi everyone, and welcome to another video on the 1.6 MGZS. Well, it's a really hot day today, so we'll be outside for a little while. I won't be working on anything else today apart from this, so I'm going to get cracking on this one and see how far we can get today. Hopefully the bodywork will get completely finished, which means that'll be ready for primer. And we'll go from there. I might put it up on the ramp later on and just have a look underneath and see what we got. And that will make a decision on what I do next. Okay, hope you enjoy the video and let's get it done. Well, change of plan already. I had to come indoors because I'm getting covered in them little black thunder flies, absolutely covering all over me, so I got them all off me, blew me down. Brought the car indoors and we'll be doing it indoors. It's very hot in here, but I have got fans, so that's good. So right, let's get on with this ZS. See how far we can get with the bodywork. So this is where we were when we left off in the last video. Got this rear quarter to do, top and bottom, bit on the edge of the bumper, and a couple of small spots on the boot, and a little bit up on the top of the quarter here. And then that's pretty much the car's bodywork done, which is nice. Got some bits under the bonnet to do, but won't be doing them right now. And then this bumper, which we'll get cracking on again soon. But right, let's get started off with the car and go from there. Well, that's not what we were looking for. There we go. I had to knock this bit back a bit further because it was sticking out too much. And then grind it as well, just to get it smooth and flat. So I'll refill that again now. Down here needs a refill just to carry on building this up. I need to get into these little edges here with a bit of sandpaper by hand and just tidy them up. The back bumper came out fine, that's ready for primer. Bits up the top here seem to be okay. Little skim up here just on top of these again. They're getting there. So next thing to do is mix up some filler. Okay, so let's get this filled up. We've started the wash your hands chart today, so we're on 1 so far. See how far we get today. So things are a lot better today. Partner's back at a hospital again now. Popped down to the local beach. Spent a bit of time with her, just relaxing for a little bit before I come over and start doing this. So that's good. Still not sure what's going on about the garage yet. But all I can do is plough onto these cars at the moment and sort that out as and when. I'd like to thank everyone for all the nice comments and everything on the last video and all the direct messages I got saying hope I get everything sorted out soon, and the get well messages from my partner and everything. I'm really grateful for all that. Thank you. So let's get back into this ZS and hopefully finish off the bodywork today. Little black bugs are driving me mad, but nothing we can do about it, just need to carry on. So while we're waiting for that rear quarter to dry off, I think we'll turn our attention to the front bumper and see if we can get that as far as possible while that's drying. And then we'll work our way from there. We've still got to do the inner arch spat on the rear there, so we'll look into that again in a little while. So this is what the front bumper is looking like at the moment. So let's get on it with the sander, get these all flattened off and see what we've got left. See if anything else needs filling, or if it's actually ready, or nearly ready for primer, which would be nice. Okay, so I'll put you on the stand, put it on time lapse and get these sanded down. Okay, so that's most of the bumper done now. Might just need a little bit more in these here. Very slight touch. Some soft edge filler or stopper. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is get the Scotch-Brite out, which is this. Flatten down the shiny pieces that I can't get to with the sander. Oh, mouse going crazy on me. Whew. Knackering work, guys, especially in this heat. We might need a quick drink. They're in the fridge, what we got today. We're on this one today. I've got no sponsors on this or anything, it's just what I drink. So cheers everyone. Okay, so the wash your hands board today is only on one. I'm now about to do it again, so we'll be on two. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the bumper now. We'll get that Scotch-Brite down as well. Got a new piece here. Okay, so I think that bumper's ready for a prime apart from two little touch-ups. So we're getting there now. So we'll go over to the car again and see if our filler is dry from earlier on. No, it's still a bit sticky, so we'll leave that. What should I do now? Let's think. I think what I'm going to have to do is take this wheel off and get back into that inner arch, start to sort that out. So I'll do that now. Right, so let's see where we were in here. That's right, we filled up the little holes that we had in this inner spat panel. They're obviously rock solid now. These edges will come off because that's where I've got tape to hold them into shape. Same behind these. Right, so we'll flatten this all back and then give it a skim up with some normal filler. As you can probably hear, it's rock solid now, probably better than the original. So that's all good, so let's get that done. Okay, so this is where we are then. Not too bad at all nice and solid. Right, we'll get it skimmed up with some filler and then leave that to go dry, and hopefully we'll be able to attack these ones up here. I feel like they're nearly there now. Still a bit taggy on that one. You think they'd go off quicker than that on a hot day like this, but not much we can do about that. Okay, so let's get this one filled up and go from there. Right, let's get this skimmed up. Right, that's good. Put this little bit of leftover filler in the front of the bumper where them little bits were.
and we're getting there with the bodywork.
Okay, so back on this rear quarter then. See what we get. You're going to have to drop that down slightly, I think. I thought I'd leave a bit of preparation work just running at normal speed, not on time lapse, because some people were asking to see how I do things. So I've done a bit of both in this video. As you can probably see, I'm using all sorts of different tools for different situations. I would have normally removed the back bumper to do this sort of repair, but not quite sure why I haven't at this point. Just haven't got there yet, so I carried on like this. Well, we're getting somewhere. Getting close to the end now, which is good for this one. Gonna have to give this just a little skim with the final filler, just to make everything perfectly smooth. This one should be okay once primed. We've got the bit off the boot, so the boot's ready, bumper's ready. So I think all we have left is in here. So next I'll attack that. Okay, so that's looking much better already. Obviously got a few little pinholes I've got to fill up with the final filler, a few bits. But not looking too bad. Right, I'm going to get all these with the final skim of finishing filler now. And hopefully we start to get to the end of the bodywork. I think then after that I'll put the car on a ramp and we'll have a look underneath. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've washed my hands, I've panel wiped, well, blew the car down then panel wiped it. I've now mixed up some final filler. I'm now going to give it a skim. This is very thin stuff. Just like the final finish to make everything blend in. A lot of people don't even do this, but this is the way to do it if you want to finish it properly. As you can probably tell already, it's already looking like I smoothed in. And I think after all the effort of the work, why wouldn't you finish it off properly? Pain when it goes on other places like the bumper and that, but that'll soon come off afterwards. That's good. Got them sorted. Not much left to put in here, so we'll just skim through these little holes. Right, so I'll show you what this looks like. So a lot of people don't do this final skim, but this is the best bit to get everything to blend in nicely. Okay, we're getting very close to getting to the end of the bodywork. Yeah! Right, so I've had a lot of people reaching out asking to buy the car before it's even finished, which is great. I've got no problem with that. Quite happy to take a deposit on it and go from there. But some people have been asking if I could do a colour change and stuff like that, which is fine. I can do a colour change, but obviously a lot more work under the bonnet, inside the boot, inside the doors. All the extra work basically, and depending on what colour you want, what the cost of the paints are and stuff like that, and all the extra work, time in the spray bay, all them sorts of things. So it's not a problem, but obviously the price of the car would be a fair bit more for a colour change. Not that we can't do it, just letting you know what the situation is. Okay, so I'm all skimmed up on the car now. Not much left to do now once these are flat and that inner arch is done. I'm going to do the little bits on the front bumper off camera now, because you've seen me on the bumper a few times now. And I think we're ready to whip it up onto the ramp and have a look underneath. Now, this car has only ever failed an MOT in 2007. Ever since then it's passed every year without any problems whatsoever. So you can imagine the upkeep of the car has been very good. Just a shame it had scratches down the sides and stuff that meant the bodywork all needed doing. But that's the way it is. This is how this one came in. This is what I had to do. So, I'm going to have a coffee now. Wait for these to dry off. Get them sanded, and then we'll get it up on the ramp and we'll have a look underneath. And I'll bring you along too. Hope you're enjoying the video. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours now because my camera battery went flat, so I had to recharge it. So I've done a fair bit of work off camera now, so I need to get you up to date to what I've done. I took the rear bumper off. Obviously all the wiring and stuff for the parking sensors and the number plate lights and stuff like that have all been removed. I've done the quarter panel. Tell you what, let's just turn you around and that'll be a lot easier to show you. So here we go. Quarter panel repairs looking nice and smooth now. You look down at it's all perfectly straight. This one I'm not too happy with yet. I want to put a skim across here to make all of this perfectly straight. Okay, so the back end looks strange now without no bumper on the back, doesn't it? But to be honest, it's in very, very good condition. Not rusty at all. All along the top bars and stuff, they're normally rusty along them. It's all nice and tidy, which is great. Just what you want. Just like the rest of the car, there's no really any rust on the whole car really. See a bit more of the stainless exhaust now. You can see it's nice. I reckon that costs a lot of money to have fitted. Well, I know they do. I've had them fitted on my own car. So the bumper's off and it's here now. Obviously the wiring is for all the sensors, which I've got to tidy up and just tie to the back of it for now. What I normally do is put them into a little bag and then just mask and tape the bag up. So we're definitely getting very close to that point now where it's going to be taking in the spray bay and some primer put on. But I think before we do that, I'm going to put it up on the ramp and we're going to have a look underneath. Okay, so it's been a while now. Been doing a fair bit off camera. Popped home there something to eat. Car's up on the ramp now, all covered up. I'm about to grind back all the brakes, make sure all the sliders and stuff like that are all working as they should, and things like that. So come and join me with this. So the car's up in the air, all covered up because I don't want to get stuff all over my freshly done bodywork. Obviously the wheels are exposed so I can take them off and get to the brakes. Exhaust is all taped up and covered up. Don't want to mess up this stainless exhaust system. So as I say, my next bit is going to be going through the brakes, make sure we're not going to fail any MOTs or anything like that. Make sure everything's free, no seized calipers. So this is what we got. So the first thing I'll do is get a heavy duty wire brush on the grinder. Them brakes are tight anyway, as you can see. I can hardly move them by hand. So they need sorting out. Probably a stuck slider or something like that. So let's get started and see what we got. Right, so I'm going to use the electric grinder with a really thick, tough wire mesh wheel. Basically going around, make sure you wear your goggles, because if you get that in your eyes, it's going to be big problems. Right, let's go. No, what did I forget? Mask. We don't need 10 ton of rust, I'm afraid. Let's try again. Okay, so I changed over to a drill, just for a different tool on the end, just to get into the pieces where I can't get, and then anything else I can't get to, I will do once I take it apart. This is what I have now. It's a softer piece, but it's getting into places like this. I think I'm steaming up a bit. Okay, let me show you what I've done. For some reason it's not focusing very well. Let's have a play. There we go. So I'm sure you'll agree that's 100 times better than where it started. Pretty much bare metal now, no rust. I will finish it off once I undo it, but the next thing to do is take it apart and make sure everything's released and sliding like it should. So that's what we'll do next. Okay, to do this job you're going to want a 12mm spanner, some grease, some brake grease. And literally just undo them like that. They're normally quite straightforward. Put them on the side so you don't lose them. So then begin on top. A couple of hits normally undoes them. They come out quite nicely, don't they? That's quite tight. I'm just going to get a little bar. So, yeah, this is what I call a little bar. As soon as it starts moving, got a bit of leverage. Tuck that to the side for a minute, just out of the way. Well, that side is okay, and so is that one, so that's good news. But we'll just still grease them up. A bit of grease. Fresh grease is always good. Get them in, give them a good old move around. Same with that one. Pop it in, give it a good move around. Yep, seems fine. Right, want a rag to wipe the excess off. Don't want the grease hanging around because obviously we've got to paint these and we want it to stick. I should be cleaning them up obviously before I paint them, but lovely, so they're nice and free, so that's not a problem. But I know what the problem is, it's going to be these jammed in. Yeah, it's always these. So let's get them out. Just get yourself a hammer and give them a little tap. That is being very stubborn. Pads are fine, they just need sorting out, which is what we'll do next. Same again, nice full pad. Right. So pop your little sliders out, get all this nice and clean, which I normally do with a piece of sandpaper. Piece of 320 or something like that. Just remove all this brake dust, carbon build up. Pretty much as simple as that. Same again on the other side. You want them to be looking something like that, all nice and smooth so the pads can slip. Pop them back in, make sure they're nice and springy. Same at the top. Oh, I must have done these 1,000 times before. Hopefully this is helping you a few of you out. You can sort your own brakes out for MOTs and stuff, or if you've got any problems. Again, it cleans up like that. Keep moving your paper around so you've got fresh bits of paper to use. Nice and sliding. Come back in. So back for the other side. And guess what I'm now about to do? Yep, time to wash your hands. Okay, so I've washed my hands. Next thing I'll do is clean the end of the pads up. This piece here on the pads. I'm sure you can see that these end pieces corrode up and go rusty. So what I do is this. Simple as that. Okay, where were we? Just had to run outside because it started pouring with rain and I had cars out there without glass in and doors on, etc. Right, so the other pad. You see this one is still tight. I'm just impressed with that. Why are they tight? Right, they definitely shouldn't be that tight. So they're way too tight like that. So we'll be taking more off the ends. This time we're going to need a cutting disc. Right. Let's get these usable. Right, see if they fit now. We should not be anywhere near. No, it's still too tight. That one's okay. That's better. Right, we're getting somewhere now. That was a bit of hassle, wasn't it? What I normally do before putting them in is just dab a bit of grease on the end of them, just to help them slide a bit. In that side as well. I've always done this, it always helps them just move around a bit, because these brakes are always prone to seizing up. And this normally, the problem is normally this, and not the actual colours. So you can see how easy they move now. This is how you want them to be able to move around. Okay, so if we put this back over the top, line up your sliders, just turn them so they actually line up. They have to be yep, they're a bit tight, aren't they? Never have hassle with these, and I go and show it on camera, and this is what happens. For some reason, they just don't want to go on with this one. Okay. And that's how free you want them to be. Right, so they're great. Let's get the bolts back in. Don't know why I've still got my oil mask on. Again, get your 12mm. Get everything lined up. Okay. And that's how you want it to be. Just tight, but not too tight. When you get in the road, it'll just wear itself in nicely. Well, it was a lot of hassle, which ain't normally for me, but that one was a bit of a pain. But now that should be fine. I haven't pushed the piston back. There's no need to on this one because the pads were fully like new. So that was sitting where it needed to be. I only ever touch them if they need to be pushed back. If you put new pads in or they're totally worn out and let's come right out. Otherwise just leave them alone. I find that makes the calipers last a lot longer. Okay, so we'll clean this up a bit more now. Mask it up. And get some rust-proof primer on it. Right, so I've ground it down some more. As you can see, it's nice and clean now. Put some paper around the edges. Make sure you always mask up your little rubbers on your sliders, unless you want them covered in paint. You want them the same colour as what you're doing. And now it's ready for some rust-proof primer. So I'll do the other side, get that ready, put you on time lapse for that, because you've seen me do this side, you don't need to see it all again. And we'll get some rust-proof primer on. So you probably can't tell on the time lapse, but that side was quite a bit easier than the other side. Nothing seized. Everything obviously needed cleaning up, a bit rusty. So let's carry on with it. Don't know why this wrap keep coming down on me, but it's annoying. That one's pretty much back together. So I'll give that a grind, get it all masked up and everything like that. I'll do that off camera and then I'll bring it back when I'm ready to put some rust-proof primer on. Okay, so that's both of the front ones all prepped. Obviously sorted out the brakes first, everything's nice and free, brakes should work fine. I've been over this a couple of times now, as you can see it's totally bare. Ready for a rust-proof primer, which should make it last for years, hopefully. Normally when I paint these, they just go on and on and on. As long as you put the rust proof on, the paint will stay on. They won't rust again. Same on this side. Right, so I'll get a can shook up and we'll get the first coat on. Right, so we're ready for our first coat. This is what I use. It's a zinc rust inhibiting primer. I find this to be, well, it dries quick, which allows you to get the silver on or whatever colour you're going on the same day instead of having to wait overnight, which is great. So we'll get this first coat on here, shall we? That side done. Well, first coat anyway. So that's the first coat on both sides. Gives you an idea of what it looks like. And around on the other side. So what I'll do is I'll put another 2 or 3 coats on either side. And I'll bring you back again when I'm ready to put some silver on. And let you see the process from there. Okay, so I've put 3 coats of rust inhibitor primer on now, and now on the second coat of silver. As you can see, it's starting to look really nice now. It's the proper original colour that the calipers would normally come in from Rover. It's starting to look really good. Probably go for 2 more coats and then some lacquer, which will be a heat-proof lacquer. Take you around to the other side. Same again. So it's starting to look really good. Right, so it's getting quite late again now. I've actually worked on this one all day today and well into the night. I think it's 1:30 now. So I'm going to stop here today because I've got to be up early tomorrow. So I think we've done quite well today. We've got a lot further with the car again. All the bodywork's done. We've got through the front brakes. So I think we're getting well on with the car now. Okay, so I'll put plenty of hours in today. I think I've done enough on the car today now. It's getting late. I've done all day and half the night. So I'd like to say thank you for everyone watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers, which is flying up at the moment. If I can ask you all to watch all the way through the videos and not just like half or something like that, that'd help the channel a lot. And I'll see you in the next video, which should be coming out tomorrow. So let's keep getting on with this car. And before we know it, it should be in the spray booth, all sprayed up. And then we'll start the sanding and polishing process to make it shine. Well, shine like I like them to shine anyway. Okay, see you all soon.